All of the rumours that we talk about here on Sidetrack regarding Stargate are actually true, and a recent podcast has actually given some credibility to that. Welcome to Sidetrack, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. So, Dial the Gate yesterday made a 2.5 hour long podcast with David Reed, the host, Darren Sumner from Gateworld, and Jenny Stiven, who is a consultant for Clear, who works within the industry around MGM and Amazon, etc. And they spoke about the state of Stargate, where we're at. And in this podcast, they did mention Sidetrack quite a bit, which was actually really cool. Like, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, well, I'm part of Sidetrack and we're getting noticed, which is really, really cool. And they start talking about some rumours that maybe we perpetuated. We've spoken about them, and that maybe that's why they're at the forefront. A lot of people who watch our videos, I'm not going to say all the people that watch our videos because it's a very small number. I see comments every now and then, but people think that we're making it up. They think that the information that is being fed to us by people who work in and around MGM is false information, and I really want to point out that it's not false information. It's not like we're making it up. We're not just pulling random things out of a hat and saying, well, this could happen, so let's just say we got a contact at MGM. Like, we genuinely do have people who feed us information from MGM, and it's one of them things. Sometimes when these people give us information, it's true at the time. So there may be a meeting with the Amazon marketing department, for example. They were talking about Stargate at one point, and they were trying to see where they could go with Stargate, whether they were going to push forward there and then, or whether they were going to put it on the back burner. That is a thing that happened at the time, but it didn't end up being pushed forward with. And that's something important to remember whenever you watch any of the videos here on Sidetrack, that the information that we give you is always going to be up to date at the time we upload it. Within a week, that information could be outdated. We're fully aware of that. That information could become irrelevant. Like, we could say that Hawk Oxby and Mark Fergus, etc., are being approached by Amazon and MGM to join Stargate and create a show Bible and see what they can do with the show. That information is true, and you'll see that later on. There's a clip about that. But it may not be true forever, and that's always something to keep in mind. But let's watch a few clips, and hopefully you'll get a better understanding of how the industry works. And more importantly, you'll realise that we don't just do this because we want views. We want to give you the most up-to-date information, and I think this really does give that some more credibility. But enough of that, let's just watch some clips.
And I think what I'd be curious to know from your guys' point of view is, I think we've addressed some of the rumors. I think we just need to say, hey, look, none of us know if any of these rumors are going to come through, because like I've said, all of us who are talking about Stargate online, on YouTube, writing about it on Gateworld, David talking about it with Dial the Gate, and talking with talent who actually does talk, because they're still in production. They talk to producers and showrunners and people in Vancouver who are all still connected, or Toronto or LA. All of these rumors may be true at that moment. But then wait 2 weeks. It's like whatever they say about the weather in Chicago, right? It's like, wait a moment and the weather changes. Wait 2 weeks and the rumor will be dead, and then there's a new rumor.
Yeah, essentially everything I've just said. There are rumors that go around the MGM offices, around Amazon, and because Jay is in touch with quite a lot of these people, I know of at least 5 that he's in touch with. Those people who share information, that information they've given at the time is probably correct. It's what they've heard, it's what's being chatted about within the office, and they've seen a meeting go on, and then they've shared that information. And our channel is slightly different to other channels who talk about Stargate. Any information that we get, we share with you, because we want to share everything about Stargate. Now, a lot of these rumours and things, they turn out that maybe they're slightly inaccurate, or maybe they were true at the time but they're no longer true. A good example of this is when Brad Wright was in conversation with Amazon and MGM about his new script. Now, we've been talking about the fact that Brad Wright's script hasn't been hasn't been on the cards for a really long time. It was later confirmed by Brad on Twitter that he's not pushing forward with his script. As a result of these meetings, they're going to be pushing on with someone else. Now, something that's really interesting in this video here is they actually talk about one of the rumours that we spoke about here on this channel, and that is regarding two very important people from The Expanse. So let's quickly have a look at that.
Darren. Sorry, Janet, before I interrupted you with that question, we were talking about MGM, Amazon soliciting pitches, and Mark Fergus. And as far as you know,
right.
Any truth in the rumors that some of the more successful genre shows that have been on Amazon, like The Boys and The Expanse, that those writers have pitched or have been invited to pitch something Stargate related?
Right, and it is that rumor is true. And what happened is that you had the MGM people who had done it prior to the buy, and then Amazon, because of its sci-fi silo, had sent out the call for lots of sci-fi fantasy, and still are. It's still a silo they're really working, as well as procedural and some others that they've decided to focus on. So one of the things that was done was that they would say with certain production companies that they had either already worked with or were really excited about, like Mark Fergus and Hawk, his partner, and said, hey, we loved what you've done. What would you like to do? We'd love to get. And they said, my understanding is they said Stargate. Now, I had heard this prior to when Sidetrack had talked about it. I didn't know for sure if it was real, because again, you hear a lot of comments sometimes or rumors that are what's the word I want? Trying to make something happen.
So that kind of confirmed the theory or the rumour that Mark Fergus and Hawk Hawksby were approached by Amazon. It's something that we've mentioned here on the channel before. We made a whole video about it, and we've spoken about it on all of our live shows that we talk about. It's something we talk about on a regular basis because it's something we're excited about. It's a potential of, well, The Expanse is great. The Expanse is fantastic. We absolutely love it, and if those guys are involved, Stargate could be amazing when it returns, because honestly we believe that it's going to return. Because of all the rumours that we hear, we have people in around MGM talking about everything that happens. There is conversations that are happening all the time, and we honestly believe it will return. And if those guys are involved, it's going to be amazing. And the reason we share this information with you is because we want you to get excited about Stargate as well. We want you to know exactly what's going on. And it may not be true forever. Mark Fergus and Hawk Hawksby may pull out. They may decide that they no longer want to, push forward with Stargate, and then someone else could come in. And when that information comes in, if and when, we'll keep you updated, because that's the kind of channel we are. We're just going to give you the most up-to-date information when we can. And eventually, when there is a press release and Stargate is pushed to the forefront by Amazon, they say we're definitely going to go ahead with it, these are the guys that are involved, we'll start talking about it with a little bit more fact. But until then, all we can really rely on is the fact that we've got contacts in around MGM who are just feeding us information. We are essentially the vehicle of sharing what is going on in the back end. We don't know for 100% what's going to happen, but we know the conversations are happening, and that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to share with you the most up-to-date information that we can. Now, I'm going to leave a link to this entire podcast in the description of this video, and I really recommend you go and watch it, because I have always loved Dial the Gate. I've always loved Gate World. I've loved the podcast, all of those channels. Before I started on Sidetrack, I was just a regular viewer. I've always been a YouTuber, but on the sci-fi side, on the Stargate side of things, I've always just been a viewer, like trying to keep up to date with the most up-to-date information. And I am very much like you guys. I found Sidetrack because I was interested in Stargate. Before Sidetrack, I was watching Dial the Gate, I was watching Gate World, I was watching Popcast, and I thought I was getting the most up-to-date information, and that is until I discovered the Sidetrack channel. And then eventually I joined, and here I am sharing information with you, and this is such a crazy situation for me to be in, because I'm just a guy from the UK who makes videos and loves a show called Stargate, and now I'm part of a channel that is giving information about a new potential series before anyone else is even talking about it, and it's really exciting for me. But like I said, I'm going to leave the information, a link to that video in the description down below, and I really urge you to go and watch it. It's 2.5 hours long. It's a pretty long watch, but it's really, really interesting. All that's left to do is for me to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, give me a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss a single video. We make content about Stargate all the time, and any information that we get from MGN or Amazon, we're going to share with you as and when it comes in. And if you're a regular viewer, consider becoming a fully fledged site tracker by pressing the join button down below. Thank you so much for watching. There will be a live show tonight. I will see you all there. Take care.